All due respect, you got no fucking idea what it's like to be number one.
Actual meetings happening right now in about 50 offices across the state of Minnesota.
You've got experience, a lot more experience with teams than I do. And isn't that true? I mean, we've had it where, in our brokerage, they sell their second house and it might be an expensive house and then want to get paid more because it's more expensive and we shouldn't get as much. It's like, dude.
Well, I think that, with teams too, I think the idea there is that, it's all on how you position it. I think we've got a pretty open book of business. Anybody wants to see what we're doing or how we're doing it, they can see it. It's a little different. Like when you have teams that are, we're not going to tell you where the business comes from and we're not going to tell you how we generated it and you're just going to run the leads. There's a perception there that lead generation is easy. I think that there are some teams where they recruit you, they take a lot of your paycheck. The more the team does for you, the more of the paycheck they're going to take from that agent. So you get some of these gigantic teams with all the advertising everywhere. Sometimes they're only getting this much of that check, but their job is they're part of a food chain. And so there's inside people setting the ads, there's people following up with the leads, there's people booking the appointments, there's people writing the contracts, and then you meet the real estate agent. So there's a lot of mouths to feed in front of that. So it's like, I look at it and say, okay, so there's different kinds of teams that are out there. The more the team does for the individual, the more you'll see behavior like that versus the more open and, hey, Chris, you and I, let's go on a ride along today. I want to see how you present your market analysis to this multi-million-dollar property. And I get to see it firsthand and I see how much work is into that and you're doing everything and I'm observing it. That is more of a mentorship, right? And that's more of a team that I run. I'm not the ego. I'm not the Andy. I'm preferred home team, not Andy Prasky team.
Hold on. Oh, no.
If you have your name in your title of your company, you're an egomaniac.
I know. Remember we had this battle on the radio show. Whose name got to be said first?